Good day, guys. I hope everyone is doing well, happy, and healthy, and welcome to Home at the Hollow. I am going through several different renovations, and I'm going to concentrate this video on my coffee bar. As you can see, as you probably have already seen some before photos, it was early 90s. I don't even think this was wood to begin with. But what I've already done is I've cleaned it. And believe it or not, these cabinets were the cleanest inside and out that was in the entire house. So I cleaned every bit of it. I mean, every bit of it. I did sand it. And I used this paint, and again, once this is finished and I do my finish video, I'll tell you guys all about the paint. But the paint is looking not bad. What I'm going to do today is, these are plastic. This is just not happening. I mean, I remember this like from way back in the early 80s and things like that, and so it's just not going to happen here. But what I'm going to do is, I wasn't really very careful when I painted this and got it on the plastic, and because it doesn't really matter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime this. I'm going to prime it to where I can cover up as much of this gloss and whatever you want to call it as possible. And again, yeah, and taking it out wasn't going to happen. So the next best thing is I'm going to cover up as much of it as I can. And I've got some mulberry paper here. I think you guys can see some of the veining in it. I hope you can see. I hope the glare is not too bad here. But there's some veining in it. And the only thing that's going to stay the same here are the edges. Every bit of it's going to get torn. And like I said, the edges, I'm going to tear it into not bitty bits, but in pieces, and decoupage this right over top of this. I'm going to be using this product, a decoupage gel. It's totally matte. Something like this right here, I don't want to use like Mod Podge or something like that. I've used Mod Podge on paper before. I've used it on fabric before. And one of the fabric projects that I did, the Mod Podge just didn't jive with what I was using, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't work. I want this to work right the first time because I don't want to have to deal with either busting this out or scraping the mulberry paper off. So I splurged and got this because it's going to get used a lot. So I'm going to be doing this very, very soon. And once that is finished, I'm going to be decoupaging. Yes, I'm going to be decoupaging a backsplash on. I don't have any kind of tiling experience. I can pick it out with the best of them. Beautiful, beautiful tile. But as far as actually putting it up and doing that, I started with the countertop. I thought, well, I'm going to decoupage the countertop. And then I thought, no, with a coffee and a tea bar and all of the water and all of the issues that might come, I thought I'm going to just leave this countertop, this Formica countertop, and just leave it just like it is. I'm not really, at first I wasn't sure about the color, but it's like an emerald green and, a little bit darker mixed in with it. So that's not so bad. But what I'm going to be doing with the backsplash, and what I'm going to be using is, I believe you guys can see this. It's redesigned by, I believe, by Prima. It's called Nocturnal Marble. And I haven't taken it out. I'm gonna take it out and see what it looks like. And this is gonna go in one sheet over the entire backsplash. I'm hoping it will cover the entire backsplash. I don't know. Let's get this opened up. I probably will have to get an iron and, you know, press the wrinkles out. But if I can move some of this, let's see how this is gonna look. Get this. I think it's gonna look, with all of the other colors that we've got happening here, I think this is going to be extraordinary. I think it's going to be quite nice. I'm really glad I bought two. But yeah, I think that's good. That's going to look really, really good. And once I'm done with the backsplash and it's dry and dry, this is done and it's dry and dry, I'll get my hardware on my cabinets, and we will do, I think what I might do is an after video of the mulberry paper on this, and then do another on the backsplash, and just kind of put them all together and see how it works and see how it goes from there. But I want to thank you guys for hanging with me, and let's get this coffee bar in good shape. Thank you again for joining me home at the Hollow. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I hope you join me again. Bye, guys. Hi guys, I wanted to share with you how I'm working with this paper. I think you guys can see, I've just torn out these pieces. My fan keeps blowing everything away, sorry. These pieces, and you'll see me applying this in a little bit. I keep my corners, especially for these particular cabinets, I'm keeping my corners and my straight edges as much as possible, so I don't have to worry about, you know, using a knife or something like that. But with the little bit of research that I did on this particular paper, and there it's blowing away, to do like if you're going to do a glass candle holder or something, or anything like that, or, you know, a door or something like that, you just take the paper, a little bit of water, a small paintbrush or what have you, and I think you guys can see, and just give it a wipe, and whatever, in an irregular, so it looks, you know, kind of natural. And say you have a little wet spot there, and all you have to do, I think you guys can see, is just give it a pull. Just give it a slight pull, and you can see where the edges are. Let's see if I can get it around here. You can see where the edges are frayed and kind of a little bit more natural looking. And what I'll do is I'll carry on with this and make, you know, just different irregular size pieces, and basically fill in from the edges from there. But like I said, I don't know the thickness of this paper. It's actually a pretty thick paper. And I got 25 sheets, and they're 8.5 by 11 inches. And so I got 25 sheets and it was like $17. And I like it so much, I already have another project that I'm thinking about incorporating, not covering the whole entire thing, but just along, if I can hold this up, but just along the edges so that it looks kind of ragged and torn and, you know, more natural looking. But I'm going to head on over to the coffee bar, and I hope you guys join me. See you in a bit. Hi guys, I wanted to bring everyone up to date on the project that I started yesterday of continuing on with the coffee bar. And as you can see, there are various stages of where I completed. I did prime it, as you can see, and I didn't prime it white because I really honestly did not know if the color was going to show through this mulberry paper. I know there's varying thicknesses of mulberry paper, and I looked on my package and it just did not give me anything to go by. So I wish I could advise you guys, but it actually came out really, really well. And I'm so pleased with it. Now, the instructions that I've, you know, watched on video has been an incredible help. And I'll show you a few tips and tricks that might help you guys a little bit. And so there we are. It actually came out really, really well. And I'm very, very pleased. We're back, and we are back with, I was going to say a finished product, but probably not really. I might make adjustments in the dead of winter. Somehow I think this particular winter I'm going to be very, very busy, but thank you. I'm so glad that you are here. Overall, with the finished product that I have, I'm happy with it. Now I want to say that this video is not sponsored in any way. This is just the unusual assortment of items that I put together because I wanted to cover the plastic stained glass. And I wanted to do something really different on the backsplash. And I feel like I've accomplished that. I have a couple of things that I want to do in the kitchen as well, but that's later. The kitchen is still in process. But overall, I'm really, really happy with it. The decoupage gel redesigned by Prima, a big thumbs up. Not so much if you've got sensitive hands, because not only does this really, really stick, but when you go to peel it off, it stretches. So this might be something you might want to think about if you have very, very sensitive skin. I wore gloves, but still you're going to get it on your hands. I mean, it's I learned very, very quickly. It's not kind to the skin, but it's a great, great product. The mulberry paper, like I said, I haven't worked with any of these products ever before. The mulberry paper was just what I needed to cover that, because I considered taking the plastic, glass, whatever it is, out and putting, you know, maybe, excuse me, some hardware cloth. And the more I started looking in it, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a big mess. You know, it's going to be a really big mess. So I opted for my path of least resistance and just simply covered it. And I know mulberry paper comes in different thicknesses, and my paper says nothing about thickness. It just gave, I think it was 25 sheets. I still have 15 left and a little bit more. I got a lot of straight edges left. So I think I have a winter project to incorporate this into, along with a few other things. But that's a big thumbs up. It covers it really nicely. Now the backsplash, again, these were big sheets. And so it would have been nice to have been able to have like brushed a lot of adhesive on and then worked because even though this says tissue paper, this is not tissue paper. This is, you know, you think, oh, it's tissue paper, it's very delicate. No, no, no. This is this is a step above like a fabric softener sheet. You can twist it. And it's really a nice product, but this dries so quickly that you're kind of working and going along but the saving grace is you can peel this back. If you have any kind of an issue, you can peel this back and readjust it from there. So a big thumbs up for that too. So overall, as far as coverings are concerned, those are big thumbs up. Now, the one that I found interesting was the paint that I used. And, excuse me. And when I went to Lowe's, I said it was going to be cabinets that I was painting. I was going to use this type of paint on the island. Oh, I don't think so. It's a really durable paint. It's an oil enamel paint. It's, excuse the condition of the paint can, but it's a Valspar cabinet and furniture, oil enriched enamel, exceptional durability. And that's true. But when I first bought it, I've got this and another can, a different color. But when I first bought it, I, of course, brought it in and I wanted to do color swatches, and I did color swatches over here. And I went on about my business because I think at that time we were doing ceilings. And I waited, you know, several hours and went back to it, and it was still just as wet as it could be. And I'm like going, oh no, what have I done? Because this really isn't wood or anything. It's just that really cheap stuff. But I waited and waited and panicked. But after living here, and I said, well, you know what? I got to use it. I got to give it a chance. A worst case scenario, I don't know, might tear the whole thing out. But, which I did consider doing, but I'm glad I've kept it because I need the storage. But, so I brushed and rolled on the first coat. This was over Labor Day, I believe it was. And it was tacky. I had fans blowing on it, sitting right here and blowing up on it, thinking, well, you know, and of course my air conditioner's on, and it just was tacky. It just did not want to dry down, which is why I was in a panic a month when I did the color swatches. I was like, oh no. But I gave it 2 days to dry down as much as it could. And then I did a second coat. This is 2 coats. I did a second coat, and oh my goodness, it's dried down beautifully. It feels really nice to the touch. And of course I picked the colors, so the colors were never an issue. It was the quality of paint. But yeah, I've since put on the cabinet jewelry, and overall I'm really happy with what I did. My next project is, I believe, the guest bathroom. I'm going to start wallpapering in there. And I'm not going to video that because everybody knows wallpaper. Well, I've never wallpapered before. And the way I have it figured, if my mom could do it back in the 70s, then certainly I think I can master it. We shall see. We'll get something figured out. But yeah, overall, awesome. I'm really happy with what I have here so far. Hopefully my kitchen will be finished in the next few weeks. I'm really hoping so. It's been a tough slog, but thank you guys so much for staying there and staying here with me home at the Hollow. Bye, guys.